Characters and plot are inextricably linked. You can't really have one without the other. They take up the same space. If a story has no characters, then nothing happens and there's no actual story. If a story has no plot, then again, nothing moves, nothing happens, no story. The link goes even deeper than things need to happen and people need to be there to do those things. How you characterize the people in your story, how you show them to your audience, will affect the plot. And in turn, the plot will affect those characters. This is because main characters in a story require two fundamental things: want and need. What your main character wants is the most fundamental piece of creating a story. A character's want is what propels stories forward. Why should a hero leave the comfort of their regular life if they don't want anything? This fundamental piece of your character is the origin of plot. In the 2008 movie Iron Man, Tony Stark wants to atone for his sins as an arms dealer. That want propels the rest of the movie as he becomes Iron Man to help reduce the damage his company has done. Screenwriter Aaron Sorkin said this in his masterclass: "I don't have characters in my head. It's not like that. The character is born from the intention and obstacle. Then the tactics the character uses to overcome that obstacle is what that character is going to be." We've established a want, but something stands in their way. Now we must decide how the character reacts in the face of resistance. The choices we make here will decide the other characteristics, like backstory, personality. Imagine I'm writing Iron Man. I start with the fundamental want. Now I have to decide how Tony responds to his want. What stands in his way? The people who use his weapons. So I say he funnels his money into becoming a superhero. We have a plot to match our character. Now I have to think about what that says about him as a character. What characteristics match that response? Tony could be confident, rich, potentially egotistical, helpful, powerful. There are tons of different traits I could choose from. Obviously, he's rich because he has to pay for the suit. He's confident in his ability to accomplish his task, but he's also confident to the point of being egotistical, self-obsessed. We can take these traits and turn them into concrete character detail. Tony is a playboy who likes to drink and hang around beautiful women. He's obsessed with expensive cars. He's rude, but also kind of charming. All of these details are fundamentally driven by how the character chooses to respond to their want. Tony's want isn't just about helping others, though. It's about making himself feel better. It's about coming to terms with his own guilt. And that's his fundamental flaw. His ego stands in the way of actually helping people and atoning for his sins. This opposition between Tony's flaw and his want creates our next fundamental aspect of character: need. Tony needs to transcend his ego to get what he wants. This is an issue we'll see play out in just about every movie with Iron Man in it, but we see its beginnings here. The character's need is often not as concrete as their want. They often aren't aware of it, or in Tony's case, are choosing to ignore it. We watch Tony struggle with terrorists, the US government, and his own company as he tries to fulfill his want, but what he needs is to be humbled. He needs to lose his ego. We can see this play out in the last fight of the movie, where Iron Man must fight Jebediah, who wants to weaponize arc reactor technology, a direct obstacle to Tony's want. On the brink of losing the fight and therefore his want, Tony decides to make the ultimate sacrifice. He tells Pepper to crank up the arc reactor to take Obadiah out. This will also kill Tony. In this moment, his need is realized. He has shed his ego for the greater good. That's the theme of the story: overcoming ego to help people. That's the theme of Tony Stark's entire character. And the main character's need is the theme of the story. It's what the story's trying to say, and it's the emotional tether that the audience has to the characters. Tony Stark's not the only one who's had to struggle with ego. That's a universal struggle that the audience can relate to. Want and need are the two most important parts of a character. a character's want defines the plot. How they respond to obstacles is what defines their characteristics, and their characteristics will define what they truly need. These are the fundamental aspects of creating a character that pulls in an audience and informs them about the human condition. Thanks for watching our first video, everybody. This is the first in a series on building characters. Next week, we'll be discussing more specific details like backstory and personality, so keep an eye out for that. Follow us on social media and join our discussions in our Discord. Links to all of that down in the description. This video is brought to you by Campfire Pro. This powerful writing tool can help you plan your stories and get started writing. Its character creation tools include character sheets and a character arc tool where you can actually track how your character changes throughout the story. Are they changing in the way they need to? Keep your characters on track with Campfire Pro.